E3 is wrapped up once again for another year, and while I think it's fair to say it wasn't the strongest expo we've ever had, we still got gameplay for some much hyped games, as well as some brand new reveals. So in this video I'm going to run down 11 of the best from the event. Let's start off with the game that also started off the E3 conferences, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. We've previously seen a cinematic trailer but no gameplay, so showing at E3 was pretty important. The gameplay gave us a good look at how tactical the combat is, rewarding the best players who are familiar with all its mechanics from the use of various force powers, lightsaber attacks and acrobatics. A few have expressed that their animations can look a little clunky at times, but Respawn still have a few months to iron stuff like that out, so provided they do, Star Wars Jedi could be a real hit this November. Coming sometime early next year is the Dragon Ball RPG project, now officially named Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. This new game based on the show gives you an open world to freely explore as you relive iconic moments from the anime as Goku himself through incredible visuals and combat. Kakarot ultimately looks like a successful attempt at what I hoped 2005's Dragon Ball sagas would be and failed to do well. With both the Xenoverse and Fighters games being surprisingly good, I expect the newest iteration to follow in their footsteps and provide another fresh experience on the much loved series. Final Fantasy VII Remake was announced 4 years ago now, believe it or not, but we finally have the update we've all waited for so long, a release date of March 3rd next year, as well as a comprehensive look at the combat, which has a really awesome mix of fast real-time attacks, as well as slower, more methodical ATB moves. Square have once again reconfirmed it's coming episodically, but the story will be expanded and fleshed out way more than the original, so there should be 40 plus hours per game. The remake was easily my highlight of the show. Graphically and gameplay wise, it delivered in every way. Coming just 3 days after FF7 is Watch Dogs Legion, a surprisingly ambitious title. Legion takes place in a futuristic post-Brexit London this time around. The key component they heavily pushed during the event was that you can play as any NPC you like, who all come with their own unique skill sets and personality, ultimately building a team of DedSec agents of your choosing. Watch Dogs Legion looks so good I'm almost a little concerned it's too ambitious for Ubisoft to pull off everything they talked about. Hopefully they can, as it's an interesting direction for the series to move in and the most promising in the series yet. A new Animal Crossing is long overdue. Thankfully a new entry was teased in September of last year, and during this E3, Nintendo finally gave us the name, which is New Horizons, as well as a trailer and gameplay footage, although they sadly did delay it to March 20th of next year from its initial 2019 launch window. Regardless, New Horizons looks to be a sequel that won't disappoint, featuring a location set on a deserted island that you'll help to turn into a place worth visiting, lots of new features that give you a ton more freedom and options to be creative, as well as some charming, vibrant graphics. I'm sure I don't need to introduce to you Cyberpunk 2077, I've talked about it on the channel several times now, but once again the latest update at this E3 was just too good for me not to talk about it one more time. Although we didn't get much in the way of gameplay, we did get a lengthy cinematic trailer that gave us more insight into the no doubt fantastic world and story. The trailer was topped off by the reveal of Keanu Reeves, who will be playing a character, before making his way onto the stage himself to announce the release date of April 16th. This is a pretty great release date in my opinion, as it's less than 1 year away before we get the chance to get our hands on it ourselves. After a little over 2 years of hearing nothing, Square Enix fully unveiled the Avengers project, showing off the familiar superheroes, albeit slightly different than their MCU counterparts. Featuring the voice talents of actors like Nolan North, Troy Baker and Laura Bailey, Marvel's The Avengers showed off some great visuals and set pieces. Slightly disappointing is that there was little in the way of gameplay itself, with only mere cuts of it in between the trailer. Fans were a little concerned at the talk of it being a live service game and what that means for it, but the potential is absolutely there, so for now, we just have to hope they know what they're doing. The Tales series has always been pretty niche, but it has a passionate fanbase that really enjoys each title. Namco Bandai revealed the next entry during the Microsoft conference called Tales of Arise, coming sometime next year. What's most interesting about Arise is that it really looks like it's pushing the series further than ever before, with updated visuals thanks in part to the move to Unreal Engine 4, a more mature tone and a much faster battle system. While Arise is clearly making changes for the better, it also promises to provide that classic Tales gameplay you are fond of, so fans of the series should still feel right at home. The rumour of From Software working on a title with the author of the Game of Thrones books, George R.R. Martin, was indeed true, although we still don't know a great deal about it. The reveal trailer was purely cinematic and is wonderfully weird and confusing as you are used to from Software. Miyazaki has confirmed it'll be open world and heavily inspired by Dark Souls, so I reckon we'll see a situation akin to that of Sekiro, similar overall gameplay to that of their previous games, but with its own unique mechanics that differentiates it from the others. Following Halo Infinite's tease last year, Microsoft showed it off once again at E3. Sadly, we didn't get the gameplay we were all hoping for, but we did get a pretty lengthy in-engine cutscene that not only shows us the beginning of Master Chief's next journey, but also what we can expect from Project Scarlet, Microsoft's next-gen console. The footage certainly succeeded in doing that, presenting graphics you wouldn't see on their current machines and could easily be mistaken for pure CGI. Microsoft also confirmed that both will be arriving in the holiday of next year, so not that long of a wait. Finally, I have one last entry I certainly didn't foresee being announced. Nintendo's conference was the closing one of E3, and during its final moments, they revealed the next mainline Zelda out of nowhere, a sequel to Breath of the Wild. Sequels aren't a thing that the Zelda series sees often, but considering how well Breath of the Wild was received, it seems only natural to get more of it. The only element I felt Breath of the Wild could have improved was with its storytelling, and the sequel already looks to be rectifying that with a pretty dark, tense teaser that gives a glimpse of a harrowing villain that may or may not be Ganon. No gameplay was shown, but already there is a lot to be hyped about. Before I round off this video, there are a few other notable mentions I didn't get to talk about. These are Luigi's Mansion 3, Astral Chain, Zelda Link's Awakening, No More Heroes 3, Gears 5, and Gods and Monsters. That's it for today. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for a notification each time my video goes live. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.